Ladies and gentlemen, this is a Motorsports Race Talk podcast. This is the revival. As you know, earlier this week, the world lost Matthew Perry. Please stay as we watch this. I'm about to play this short video, and then I'm going to introduce our guest, and then have an awesome intro.
I'm not going to miss you helping me out with money. The only thing that I'm going to miss is you.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
Damn, who knew? All the planes we flew, good things we've been through. That I'll be standing right here talking to you about another path. I know we love to hit the road and laugh, but something told me that it wouldn't last. Had to switch up.
I just want you to know that I would never soberly hurt you or your family. You're my best friend.
I'm Chandler. Could I be wearing any more clothes?
How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I would do, you were standing there by my side. And now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
Bye Bye Birdie, starring Joseph Stalin. Joseph Stalin is the Fiddler on the Roof.
And I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began.
You know we started.
Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again.
Let me tell you.
When I see you again.
Joey was in a porno movie!
Go out your way and the vibe is feeling stronger with small.
I'm going down, I'm taking everybody with me.
That bond will never be broken, the love will never get lost. And when brotherhood come first, then the line will never be crossed. Established it on our own when that line had to be drawn, and that line is what we reach. So remember me when I'm gone.
Well, what if I never find someone? Or even worse, what if I already found her, but I dumped her because she pronounces it supposedly?
Chandler, come on. You're going to find somebody.
Hey, can you hear me?
Hold every memory as you go, and every road you take will always lead you home.
Is this because I come over here without knocking and eat your food? Because I can stop doing that.
No, that's not the reason, Joe.
Without you, my friend.
You don't think we'd buy a house and not have a Joey around, do you?
It's good. You know, because now you have a reason to come visit.
From where we began.
I think there may be another reason.
All about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
Hey, can you hear me? Oh, there we go.
It's been 21 months since the last episode of Motorsports Race Talk podcast aired. 21 months later, we are revived. We are back. We have a new co-host, Kevin Marble. Kevin, how are you doing, buddy? He'll join in eventually. But with us today is our first guest of the revival. It's 2023 Xtreme Outlaws Midget National Series champion, Jade Avedisian. welcome to the show and congratulations on winning the 2023 championship. How did all this come about?
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's been a lot of hard work and a lot of time that we put into the sport. But it's obviously for a love and passion that we have. And when I found out we were going to go to Keith Goon's Motorsports earlier in the year, I knew that was our goal when we sat down, was to hopefully win a championship and just do the best we can. Lead laps and win races. Now that one series is over, it's a lot of pressure off my hands, and like I said, I can't do it without them, and it just takes a lot of hard work on their side and a lot of time they put into the sport to bring very fast race cars to every weekend. And obviously, some nights didn't go as planned, but they never gave up on me, and we fought through all the way to the end. So I honestly just can't thank them enough, and that's basically the reason I'm standing here right now.
That's actually it's actually pretty cool that you got one of those big name teams, to bring you in. And I remember last year on one of my older shows that I did just for temporary World of Auto Racing, I remember you were on it and you said you wasn't sure what your 2023 plans was. You got your plans together, and then look what happened. You're here as a champion of the sport. Do you plan on sticking around for another year? Or do you want to move up to like bigger midgets like USAC, or move up to like the World of Outlaws?
I'm not sure exactly what I have planned for 24. I know everyone at Toyota and all the great people around me are going to put me in good spots. My ultimate goal is to be racing on Sunday, which is obviously the NASCAR Cup Series. So it's obviously going to be a lot different, but like I said, everyone at Toyota is going to put me in good spots. And at the end of the day, I know whatever they put me in, I have to do good and give it my best effort, and hopefully one day I'll work out.
Yeah, that's true. And like you said, you just mentioned that you said Sundays is where you want to be at in the Cup Series. You got a long way to go, but what do you hope to accomplish before you get to the NASCAR circuit?
I'm not sure, just because I'm not sure, the path I'm going to take yet. But I'm like I said, I'm always going to leave it up to the people at Toyota. But whatever they put me in, I know I have to do the best I can, and just hopefully win races and lead laps. It's obviously a huge part of stepping up. You just gotta, do the best at every step, and take what you can get every night, and hopefully not leave anything else on the table.
Okay. Hold on, I'm trying to see if my co-host. So I know you had quite a few. How many wins did you have this year?
5 wins.
5 wins. Okay, and then ultimately led to you winning a championship. And now here is when he loads our new co-host of Motorsports Race Talk podcast. It took a long time for us to get this together. As many of you all are aware, I was once a part of a little show called The Speedway Review. Unfortunately, things turned to an unfortunate end, and I'm no longer a part of that podcast. So therefore, now Motorsports Race Talk is back, and we're not going anywhere. We're here to stay. We're here to back. We got some major guests lined up. It's good that we have a champion as our first guest on here. We just got a lot going. We got a lot coming up. 2024 is going to be big, and Kevin is having technical difficulties. But when it comes to getting the sponsors, getting the right amount of sponsorship, how does getting your sponsorships come about?
It's tough. Obviously, racing isn't cheap, and I'm pretty sure everyone knows what the cost is. But me personally, I just gotta show up the best I possibly can, no matter if I go to a sponsorship meeting or whether I'm at the racetrack or whether I'm walking around at dinner or you just have to make sure you're carrying yourself very well, and you never know who's around you. So, when someone calls you or whatever the case is, you obviously got to answer the phone and see kind of what the deal is. And I feel like that's kind of what happened with me in Toyota. It was just kind of perfect timing, and obviously, hopefully we have many years to go. So, it's just like I said, you just got to carry yourself really good on and off the track.
Yes, that is true. So was you featured? I know I know a bunch of drivers from the Extreme Dirt Series was featured in the World of Outlaws video game. Are you featured in that video game?
Yes, sir.
And how cool is it to see that you're an up and coming star and you're already featured in a video game at 17 years old? How does that make you feel to see you in a video game and people can play as you around the entire world?
Yeah, it's really cool. I personally haven't got to play it, but I've only heard really good things about it. So, I'm looking forward to play it soon. Hopefully, once I get back home. But it's really cool just to say you're in a video game and there's a lot of other drivers in it as well. And I've like I said, I've only heard good things, and a lot of people are posting about it. So, I'm grateful to be in it, and I know everyone at Migets, Tyler, Xtreme Migets are doing a great job to promote it, and I'm going to push it as hard as I can.
Mhm. And that's pretty much all you really can do. So you had mentioned that you went to one day race in the Cup Series. Is there any specific teams that you're interested in driving for, or if you just get the call, say, "Hey, we want you to try and race for us." Is there a dream team that you'd like to race for?
I'm not sure. I'm obviously gonna take Toyota, or hopefully we have, me and Toyota have many years to go. But that's so far advanced, and I know I have a lot of stuff to do before then. Before I have a pick, so I just gotta focus on myself right now and focus on 24 and execute every weekend as best I possibly can. And I know the future will play out, and everyone around me and Toyota Racing are gonna do a good job putting me in the right spots to hopefully succeed one day.
Yeah, and that's actually that is a great answer. Um, are you going to be preparing yourself for the 24 Chili Bowl Nationals?
Just take what I learned from last year and what I learned all year. We did a lot of injury racing this year, and I've came a very long way since really June, July. So, like I said, take what I learned all year, and I'm going into there with a whole year under my belt with Keith Coons, Motorsports, and Jarrett. So, I'm really looking forward to that week. It's obviously a ton of fun, and we did pretty good last year. So we're gonna hope to be 2 more spots better on our prelim night. But yeah, just take what we learned, and just really use my head all week and get through a heat race, get through a qualifier, and then, we have 30 laps to figure it out. So, but just try to execute the best we can. It's going to be a tough week. It's a long week for everyone. But yeah, we're just going to give it 110% and take what we learned from all year and hopefully apply it to that week.
Yeah, I think that would be. I know I remember watching some of it last year. So I remember I seen your prelims and I seen a bunch of other people at prelims. What was it like to be in the same building with guys like Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Christopher Bell, Kyle Larson, many of these other dirt racing legends?
Yeah, it's really cool. I feel like those are some of the people that explode the sport a lot, and especially that week, there's a ton of people there, and a lot of people that are people that a lot of people know. So it's a good week to hopefully run good and get your name out there. And obviously, it's really cool when you get a race with Cup drivers or just obviously really good race car drivers. It's cool to race with them, and like I said, just get your name out there as well.
Huh? And I see like maybe 3-4 years down the road, we'll hear you winning the Chili Bowl Nationals, if not next year. But I know that's a goal for everybody who races in the dirt car world and the midget world. Um,
Oh, he's on. Yeah. Obviously, we're just gonna do the best we can and try to execute as best we can. You know, you never know when you're gonna win a race, so you give it 110%. So that's what we're gonna do, and you know, hopefully we get a good prelim night and set us up good for Saturday, and then anything could happen.
That is true because you know it's the Chili Bowl Nationals. Anything can happen. I remember watching it a few years ago. I think it was 2020. Larson and Christopher Bell was racing around like on literally the last lap. Next thing you know, Bell starts flipping out of nowhere, and I know it's hard to keep it off of the wall. What is the main tactic? Because I've never driven a midget before. I've only driven a go-kart on dirt, but driving a midget and one of those heavy sprint cars, how tough is it to keep yourself from trying to getting into the wall and, you know, eventually flipping? What is your strategy to keep it on the ground and to continue to keep it moving forward?
It's tough. You know, I feel like we learned a lot this year, myself personally, but it's super tough. It takes a lot of finesse later in the races, and especially when the curb builds and it gets slicker to the curb and bigger and bigger. It takes a lot of finesse, and but at the same time, you know, you still have to be in the gas, because then you get tied and you don't have wheel spin, and then you're, you know, upside down. So it's more of a feel. I can't really put it into words how it all works, but you just got to be really on your toes, especially later in the night when the curb builds and it gets slicker and slicker. And you know, some nights we're against the wall. Can't really make any mistakes, or realistically, you can't make no mistakes, especially later in the night, like I said.
Yeah, that you know what? I kept forgetting to put this on. There it is. Realized I forgot to put my banner up. Okay. But yeah, because I see that's the one thing I never knew, because I know it has to be hard to drive those cars. I know there used to be I haven't been to a local dirt track in a long time, but a few years ago there was a dirt track that I went to, and I seen a bunch of guys just slipping and sliding because they couldn't keep it you know, sideways coming out of the corner. The one thing that I did notice while watching the Cup cars at Bristol, they wasn't getting as much slide action as the trucks were and the Xfinity cars were. I'm not sure if it's the height or the weight of the car, but there has to be a strategy to try and make your car turn sideways instead of, you know, of it going straight into the turn where you could end up eventually crashing out.
Yeah, like I said, it's tough to, you know, like, say exactly, you know, how to drive it. It's just more off feel, but you know, it obviously comes down to having a really good car under you every night, and that's what Kids Games Motorsports does. And honestly, it kind of makes it a little bit easier for me each night. But like I said, it's just a little bit of feel, and you know, racing for a lot of years, me personally. So it's just feel, and you know, you gotta just give it 110% every lap. I feel like you know, the harder you drive them, the faster you're going to be. You know, till, like I said earlier, till later than 9, then you kind of have to back down. But for the most part, it's just off how you feel.
Okay. So have you so this is where we jump into the motorsports part of the show. We cover all forms of racing, from dirt to, we're going to be covering a lot of dirt this off season. From the late model world championships this weekend at I think it's this weekend at Charlotte. Then you got the Tulsa shootout coming up I think it's in December, and then you got the Chili Bowl Nationals coming up in January. But of course this weekend, everybody, hey, there he is.
I got it.
There he is. There's our co-host. There's Kevin. Guys, I would like to introduce to you the newest co-host of Motorsports Race Talk podcast, Kevin Marble. Carvin. Kevin, go ahead and do your thing, and the questions you got for her, go ahead, and then later on we'll discuss the upcoming championship weekend. I gotta handle my children real quick.
All right. Hey Jade, how's it going?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing okay, dealing with a concussion at the moment, but
oh gosh, hope you feel good.
Oh, so you're Toyota Racing, being a Toyota Racing development driver. Are you trying to build up in the ranks from where you're at now as far as NASCAR goes?
Yes. Yeah, my end goal is to hopefully be racing on Sunday. So like you said, the NASCAR Cup Series. I'm not sure exactly what the ladders are going to be for me, but I know everyone at Toyota and all the great people around me are going to put me in the right spots. And at the end of the day, I just got to do the best I can and execute really good every single weekend. At the end of the day, it's all off how you race every single weekend. And I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing for 24 yet, but like I said, whatever they put me in, I know I have to do good and hopefully, win a lot of races and hopefully lead a lot of laps as well.
Well, welcome back, Jordan. Now, as far as the ranks,
Yep. So
Toyota have you talking in development with any other racing series besides dirt?
Wait, what did you say?
Does Toyota Racing, do they have you or do they have an idea of how far they want to move you or what the next step is in your career as far as being developed by Toyota?
I'm not sure yet, and I also can't really say exactly, but like I said, I know everyone at Toyota and all my bosses over there are going to put me in the right spot, but like I said earlier, at the end of the day, whatever they put me in, I got to do the best I can and, hopefully win a lot of races and execute really good. So obviously at the end of the day, it's just off, the results and how you carry yourself off the track. So I'm going to do the best I can and I'm going to do the best I can, the rest of the year. Hopefully many years to come as well.
Am I still muted? Nope, I'm still muted. So Kevin, welcome to, I don't know if you caught any of the, the opening of the interview and stuff, but it's good to have you a part of the team.
I'm glad to be a part of the team. Glad to meet all these amazing racers. I mean, the wheelman that Jade is. I've only seen highlights. I've not been able to catch any full races. I'm just getting back into dirt racing. I used to race karts myself before I ended up with degenerative disc disease. So racing wasn't in my career or in my future at all. But I'm a Kyle Busch fan. So I'm on the Chevrolet side of things right now. But at heart, I've always been a Toyota man. So I follow all the Toyota guys. And I really look forward to watching Jade come up through and getting the job done and getting those big rides.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Wait.
Yeah, I'm just give it the best shot I can, and hopefully it's many years to come.
Because Jade is amongst those people that you see from Toyota. You got Kylie Brayson. I think I said that way wrong. If I did, I apologize to any of her fans out there. Tony Bredinger. Just to name a few, Christopher Bell, Denny Hamlin, just name a few of all these people that's a part of the Toyota team. Back when Jeff Gordon retired, I made a switch from Chevrolet to Joe Gibbs Racing and Kyle Busch. So for years until Austin Cindric made his way up to the Cup side, I was a Kyle Busch fan. So then I switched over to Ford and became a fan of Haley Deegan. I followed her at DGR when she was in ARCA, Ford, trucks, Ford, now Xfinity with Ford. Any drivers that's with Ford, I will support you. But if some people are with Toyota, I'll support them too. But what? I wasn't. But yeah, big names coming up and stop it. But yeah, it's cool to see an upcoming driver continue to work the ranks through Toyota. Toyota has a lot to do with that, bringing these drivers in for to one day make it big top. To like you said, your goal is to be in the Cup Series.
Yes, absolutely, and it obviously shows the lineup they have for championship weekend. They got a guy to win or have a chance to win the Truck Championship, a chance to win the Xfinity Championship, and then a chance to win the Cup Championship. So they do a good job developing the drivers.
Hopefully
I can be one of them someday. But like I said earlier, I just gotta whatever they put me in, I do the best I possibly can, and hopefully, and like I said, it's hopefully many years to come.
Really?
So as far as the winged, do you have any experience as far as anything off dirt, super late models, anything like that?
No, sir. I've had a little bit. Especially this off season. We're gonna probably get a little bit into it. I got tested a GR6 car the other day, but for right now, we have a big month coming up on the West Coast for the Migets, so and a lot of chances to hopefully win a lot of races. So right now my focus is on the dirt. Right now, we got to finish off the year strong, and then wherever they put me, like I said, I just gotta execute as best I can. But yeah, like I said, my own goal is to get on the NASCAR Cup side, so I'm just gonna let them, tell me where to go run and do the best I possibly can.
So upon looking here, you was talking with Kenny Wallace. How awesome was that? One of the biggest names in dirt, to my opinion, one of the greatest besides Rusty Wallace, one of the greatest was. What was it like to work with Kenny Wallace on that on his show? What was that like?
Yeah, it's really cool. It's honestly an honor when somebody asks me to be on their podcast. That cool is obviously really special, and it's hard to put feelings in a word, but it was definitely pretty cool. I was fortunate enough to meet Kenny about 2 years ago at a dirt track, and then we've kind of stayed in touch a little bit and seen him a little bit, wherever we end up racing. But like I said, it was definitely pretty cool to be on his podcast.
Yeah, I tell you what, he's hilarious. That's one of the guys I'm going to try and get on next year. It's going to be hard. Yeah. It's going to be tough, but I'm going to try and get him. But also it looks like not too long ago, you was driving a GR Cup car. How was that?
Yeah, it was fun. I tested it last Wednesday. Obviously a lot different from one being asphalt and second being a road course. So it was a good learning day, and we made gains all day. So that was one good thing. And I hope I get to race it in the future. And it was obviously a lot of fun. So yeah, like I said, I'm just hopefully I get to race it in the future.
Yeah, I know that's a big difference. I'm going from those small midgets to a big sports car like that. What track was you guys at?
Carolina Motorsports Park in North Carolina.
Okay. Do you have anything else other than the Nationals coming up? Do you have anything else lined up racing wise or testing wise?
I can't really say, unfortunately, but I have a big announcement coming out the 13th of this month, so I'm really excited to tell everyone what it is, and I know a lot of people are wondering, what I'm going to be doing. So I'm excited to do it, and like you said, we have one more month on the West Coast, actually this month. So we're not going to lose focus for the future, and we've just got to finish the best we can the rest of the year, and hopefully we can get our first USAC win on the West Coast. It'd be a pretty special one, just because it would also be my first, and then to be home in California and get it would be pretty cool as well.
Okay, and those of you watching, we'll be sure to make that announcement on the November 16th episode of Motorsports Race Talk, which will feature up-and-coming USF junior star Ava Dobson. Jade, so what part? You said this would be a home. So you said the West Coast in California is home to you, correct?
Yes.
So what part of California are you from?
Clovis, California. I moved to Mooresville, North Carolina, February 1st of this year, though.
Okay. What inspired the big change from California over to the East Coast in North Carolina? Was it the racing aspect of it, or just the bigger opportunities?
Like you said, just the bigger opportunities. I think it was obviously great to be in California growing up. There was a lot of tracks that I learned a lot, but I feel like at this point of hopefully my career, I feel like that was going to be the move to take, and luckily I have a lot of great people around me and a good supportive family to make that happen. So I feel like it's tough to beat Mooresville, North Carolina for the goal I have. So there's obviously like you said, there's obviously a lot of opportunities out there, and I'm just happy to be out there as well.
Okay, well, before we let you go, Kevin, do you have anything for Jade before we sign her off and continue with the show?
Man, I wish you luck. I've followed all these racing development drivers. I mean, John Hunter's getting a big opportunity next year. Never thought I'd see something like that just because I have his being a second generation driver, but it's awesome to watch the clips that I've been able to and to experience how awesome you are on the dirt. I would love to actually go watch you in Tulsa if you can make it to the Chili Nationals. So
yes, I'll be at Chili Bowl this year or next year.
Okay, well that definitely changes my mind about going this year. I mean, man, what can I say? I got to root for winners. I don't. But we wish you future luck in your endeavors, and good luck with Toyota.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it, and thanks for taking the time to talk to me.
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely. And again, congratulations on the championship, and we look forward to seeing what your next journey is. Thank you, Jade, for stopping by.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
Bye. All right, Kevin. So let's talk about championship weekend.
Oh, Lord, there's so much going into this weekend. I'm so excited. There's so many,
me too. You know, you
so
got
many new contenders in. So there's so many new contenders in for the Cup. Yeah, we have a bunch of new faces. Blaney, this is his first Championship 4 appearance. Like I said, I'm a Toyota and a Kyle Busch fan myself, but I think my pick for Cup Series this week, I would love to watch Blaney win his first Cup Series championship. The man has worked hard these last couple years, and I believe he is very deserving of this championship. It wouldn't hurt my feelings to watch Larson win it either and get his second. I would love to watch as the wheelman that Carson Hocevar is. He is doing a heck of a job in that 42 Chevrolet right now, and I would love to see him win a Truck Series championship this week too.
Oh yeah, you see, something new that I would like to do on this show in the time that we have left is break down all the drivers from each series that's in the Championship 4, break down their wins and their milestone wins. Since you mentioned it, let's start with Carson Hocevar, who is in the Championship 4 this weekend for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Carson Hocevar had many heartbreaking finishes until finally this year was the year he got himself in victory lane, not once, but 3 times. Kevin, what are the odds to seeing someone Carson Hocevar reminds me of Casey Kane from 2005. All those runner-up finishes until finally getting that first win in 2006. Could he be the underdog? Could Carson Hocevar be the one to come in and upset everyone in the Championship 4?
I don't believe he could be the underdog. I believe this weekend Carson Hocevar is the underdog. I believe everybody has him at the very bottom of the list, but the way this kid has performed this season, I mean, tremendous, from going so many heartbreak finishes last season, the almost win at Charlotte last year, and just come so close, and finally to be able to get 3 wins on the season and get something underneath him. I believe he poses a really big threat to the other 3 for this weekend.
Oh yeah, and he not to mention that he's also run 6 races in the Cup Series this year for Spire Motorsport, and next year he's racing full time with Legacy Motor Club with Jimmy Johnson and Richard Petty, which is a great opportunity. Some of his he was born in Michigan. Some of his big achievements was winning the 2020 Winchester 400, winning the Red Bud, that's the name of my street, Red Bud 400 winner, and he also won the Money in the Bank 150 winner in both 2020 and 2021. And like you said, in his 75 races in 5 years with the Truck Series, he's got 5 this year. 4. He won 4 races this year, possibly a 5th on tomorrow night. So I feel that Carson Hocevar is the driver to watch in the Championship 4, other than Corey Heim.
Yeah, I completely agree. Between Corey Heim was a really we got to see what kind of talent he got to showcase last year with Kyle Busch Motorsports, and I believe that was a big mistake by Toyota letting go of Kyle Busch Motorsports and Kyle Busch in general, because Corey Heim, even in this type of equipment, it's not top tier, but that just shows this kid's got a lot of talent. From the finishes, all the top 5s and all the top 10s, and just the driving style of Corey Heim, I believe he's going to be the next big thing that Toyota brings to the table.
Oh yeah, I can definitely agree on that. I know I've got, let's see, who else isn't? Grant Enfinger. I think that's my pick to win is Grant Enfinger because Grant Enfinger is racing for GMS Racing, who are closing their doors after Phoenix. Wouldn't it be something if Grant Enfinger sends GMS Racing home with a bang and bringing home a championship in the Truck Series?
Well, I would love to see that. I mean, all 4 of these boys are in the championship 4 this year. They've worked their tails off. They've raced their tails off. And they've all earned the spot that they're in this weekend. Unfortunately, there's only one that can come out up on top, and if Grant Enfinger tends to do that and goes out with a bang, I don't think it'll be that hard for him to find a top-tier ride for 2024.
That's actually true, that's true. But the question is, like, who would be the one that would, but who would pick them? But who would be the top team to go for, considering, since GMS is sitting, could he move over to maybe Richard Pettington brings in a 3rd car for Legacy? Who knows? It's something we'll have to see in this off season.
So with Josefar going to Legacy, where is Eric Jones going? Or has that been announced yet?
I don't think it's been announced yet.
Because I believe Eric Jones has a contract with Chevrolet.
Jones is still in the 43 next year. Ty Dillon is the one that's not in the 42. Wait.
It's fixed to say because John Hunter's already been announced for the 42 for next year.
You're right. Wait a minute.
Josefar has been announced for a cup ride, but I do not remember which one.
You know what it is? It's the number 7. It's Spire Motorsports for next. No, that's not right. No, hold on.
No, that's Corey LaJoy ride.
Hold on. I'm so lost. Hold on a second. I will get this.
Well, it's almost postseason. You know how the silly season goes with NASCAR.
Oh, he is a multi-year contract with the number 77 for Spire Motorsports next year.
Well, Carson, he doesn't know a lot about these next gen cars, but I mean, out of all the drivers in the last 2 years that we've been racing these things, I don't believe any of these drivers have figured out these cars. They're constantly learning, and there's new things that are going wrong and new things that are being developed and fixed, especially the big safety issues. And I believe I need to give a shout out to NASCAR for the safety issues they fixed over the course of last season. Kurt Busch and Alex Bone with those concussions, and then this year the backing the cars into the wall, I believe, with the rear end of the car being able to be collapsible. I believe that's made the cars a whole lot safer, allowed the drivers to walk away with a little less of an oomph and symptoms away from a crash.
Yeah, that's true. And 2021. So that's going to be what now? There we go. You still there?
Yes, sir.
Hold up. Okay, I froze out for a minute. Anyway, Ben Rhodes. Ben Rhodes is one heck of a driver. He will now officially be the longest tenured driver at Thor Sport, because I do believe Matt Crafton is possibly retiring at the end of the year. Possibly. I've heard rumors.
Well, Ben Rhodes being a long tenure, I mean, with Ford, Toyota, and then back to Ford, whether each manufacturer, I mean, the kid's got talent, and I don't foresee him going anywhere as far as Ford is concerned. If Ford lets him go, then I think that they're completely mistaken.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what's crazy is my truck series driver was Haley Deegan, but since she's moving over to Xfinity next year, which, speaking of Deegan, I spoke with the PR rep for AM Racing, and in January, I'm to give him a call to get a date scheduled for her to be on this show.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
So far, that would be our biggest interview next year so far. So your pick to win the Truck Series Championship is Hocevar, correct?
Yep, Carson Hocevar all the way.
Yep, my pick to win the Truck Series Championship is Grant Enfinger to send GMS Racing home with a bang. All right, Xfinity, your final four for Xfinity is Cole Custer, who is back next year for Stewart-Haas Racing. They made the announcement today. Sam Meyer, John Hunter Nemechek, who moves over to the Cup Series next year, and then Justin Allgaier.
Well, with all the pandemic that went down at Martinsville this past weekend, with me being with Kyle Busch over at RCR, the Sheldon Creed and the Austin Hill situation didn't go down too well with anybody on Saturday.
No, it didn't.
Man, I'm glad Justin Allgaier got in there, got that win for Junior Motorsports. And as it sits right now with 2 cars for Junior Motorsports, Junior's got a 50-50 chance of winning this championship, but I believe Sam Mayer is going to be my pick for this weekend.
That's not a bad pick. My pick, I've been an Allgaier fan for a long, long time. And Allgaier is my pick to win because I feel like he's deserved it. He's raced his ass off all year long. He's been with Junior Motorsports since the beginning of the team, pretty much. So I feel Justin Allgaier will finally get that win, and then maybe he'll be able to move up. To be honest with you, when Allgaier racing the Cup Series, he didn't have a very good, good experience with what's now Stewart-Haas Racing.
Yeah.
Back then it was the 51 of Phoenix Racing. When then those two merged, became Haas Racing, seen in Haas, now Stewart-Haas Racing. So I feel Allgaier being an Xfinity Series, just like with Elliott Sadler, gave multiple opportunities for multiple wins, possible shot at a championship. Elliott Sadler almost got his championship his final year, but now Justin Allgaier, can he finally break that spell and finally get that first championship win? I say Justin Allgaier wins the race on Saturday, beating out his teammate Sam Meyer.
Well, as long as Junior Motorsports ends up in victory lane, I will not be disappointed.
Same. Now that comes of the weekend, the NASCAR Cup Series Championship finale. Kyle Larson is racing for his second championship in 2 years. William Byron is racing to bring that 24-hour championship for the first time since Jeff Gordon in 2001. That was my childhood driver growing up. So I'm not only pulling for Ryan Blaney because he's Cindric's teammate, but I'm also pulling for William Byron because he's got that iconic number 24. And then you've got Christopher Bell. Christopher Bell, it was one of the biggest surprises the last few years. No one thought he was going to come in, take over that 20 car that's been driven by Matt Kenseth, Tony Stewart, Joey Logano. And now look where he's at a chance for a back-to-back chance at winning a championship in Phoenix.
Bell was definitely a big surprise. He dominated the Truck Series with Kyle Busch Motorsports, went up, dominated the Xfinity Series with Joe Gibbs Racing, and then coming up to the Cup Series.
Yes, sir.
After Kenseth left in 2017, they had Eric Jones, and he won 2 races with Joe Gibbs Racing. And, we thought the 20 car, that speed and all that, all the aggression we've seen over the years from the 20 just wasn't there, and nobody expected Christopher Bell to come in and to build that team like he has.
Yeah, what was this? Okay, and I have my prediction is that Ryan Blaney does win the championship and give the Blaney family their first ever championship.
I believe that's going to be the case this weekend too. Blaney's fought so hard this year in the last 2 rounds of the playoffs. He was one of the strongest cars and ended up with just didn't have the finish to show for it, except for the pop-up win at Talladega and then the strong finish at Martinsville this past weekend. But I believe, Blaney, as well as he ran in Phoenix in the spring and the way that their short track package has evolved this year, I believe Blaney and Christopher Bale are going to be the 2 to beat this weekend.
Oh, yeah, and not to mention this weekend will also mark the final race for Kevin Harvick. My favorite Kevin Harvick memory was getting that first career win 2 weeks after the passing of Dale Earnhardt. It was an emotional win in that 29 car, and that's forever going to be the greatest Kevin Harvick memory of all time.
And I'd have to agree with you 110% wholeheartedly. I mean, being handpicked to not have to take over that car until the following year after Dale retired, and then, having to jump in the car under the circumstances, the pressure he was in, and the pressure that he was under, climbing into, essentially, even though it was a different number, essentially Dale Earnhardt's car. So, to get that win and to make the Earnhardt family proud and the fans, I believe that's going to be the one moment that defined Kevin Harvick's career.
Oh, absolutely. Because originally he was supposed to be part-time in the number 30. That was eventually driven by Jeff Green. So that's a little story history there. But we are back. We'll be back again on the 16th with Ava Dobson. Followed by that, we've got some pretty good drivers coming up. Next year, our first guest next year in 2024 will be Todd Morey. He is a former monster truck driver. He is also working with MRN as an announcer. He's also also takes part in the Professional Lacrosse League. So look forward to hearing his story. That will be January 11th. So the next time that we get together, we will not only be wrapping up the 2024 NASCAR series, but we'll also be wrapping up the IndyCar series, the Formula One series after their Abu Dhabi race. So we do have a special championship episode coming up here soon, where we're going to cover from IMSA, IndyCar, NASCAR, World of Outlaws, NHRA, any championship that's been wrapped up. We're going to cover it on a special championship edition of Motorsports Race Talk. That will be our yearly thing. But for myself and Kevin Marble, until next time, this is Motorsports Race Talk, and we'll see you guys again soon. Kevin, enjoy the races this weekend, and we will talk about it in the group chat. And you guys have a wonderful night, and it's so good to be back.
See you. Thank you.